It's time to get all your Star Wars news in a single file. From Fantha Tracks TV, this is Good Morning Tatooine!
Good morning, Tatooine. We're back once again for your weekly recap of everything Star Wars. It's a new year, and we've got lots of Star Wars news to bring to you this week. So, what we're going to be talking about? Bad Batch has launched, so we'll be discussing that. Marvel have announced a new comic series based around Darth Vader, Black, White and Red. Hasbro Pulse have had a live stream event this week, revealing all the Indiana Jones product images. We'll be talking about what Fantha Tracks are going to be up to with regards to podcasting over the next few months, as we've agreed to do some various different shows. We'll be checking out Diamond Select Toys, Obi-Wan Kenobi, PVC Diorama, Gentle Giant. I've also got out a Rogue One Cassian Andor minibus. We'll be looking at that. And we'll also be checking out all the guests for Echo Based Live, which is coming up in, I think, 3 short weeks. So to discuss that and much, much more from FanthaTracks.com, Mr. Paul Naylor. How are you, Paul?
Good evening, sir. Good evening. And if it's not too late to say it, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year indeed, yeah. Is it too late? Where are we? The 15th of the month? Yeah, it's way too late. Good holiday season.
Very good, mate. I used to work with a bloke who would still be saying Happy New Year to some of his clients in March, and it used to make the skin, I used to shudder, but still, yeah, good Christmas and New Year. Yourself?
Yeah, really good, in fact, yeah. Lots of fun had. Been a busy week. Lots of news coming out of the UK this week. A lot of it centred around an autobiography that's out called Spare. So here we go. Snoke is bred and raised purely for spare parts. Your thoughts on pure Snoke?
Well, it's just nice to see that he's finally got his side of the story out there. Yeah. You've thrown me with that.
Just poor lad on Exegol, just in a tank being raised for spare parts for the Emperor. Dreams of having his own empire to run, and it just being taken away from him in Rise of Skywalker, you know.
The problem when you're second in line, you just get nothing.
Yeah.
Poor old
Poor old Snoke. Available in all good bookshops, apparently. Let's get to the news proper. So we've got first up the Bad Batch. It's launched on Disney Plus. We've now got 3 episodes that have come out. Have you had a chance to check out the series so far?
Now, I have. I've had it on in the background while I've been working, which is the worst thing you can do. The only time that really works is if it's something you've watched countless times before. I normally stick, I don't know, Andor on, or Solo, or Rogue One, or one of the Star Wars films on. And that works because you already know it. It doesn't matter if your mind wanders. With this, really, I need to go back and watch it properly. What I did get from it was, and from having spoken to a number of friends that have watched it, apparently episode 3, that is the most recent one that's out there at the moment, is up there. Is up there with some of the best Clone Wars episodes. People are absolutely raving about it. So yeah, I definitely need to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah. A lot of people talking about, I guess, how episode 3 doesn't really feature on the clone so much. It kind of takes the story in a slightly different direction, and I think people are kind of appreciating that.
Yeah, definitely. It's something like they focus on one lone character, I think, don't they? And
Yeah.
they go down that route. But yeah, like they did with Dot in EastEnders many years ago. Fantastic. There's a comparison for me. But yeah, it's from what I've seen of it, and I do apologise, I've not watched it thoroughly. From what I've seen of it, I mean, I loved the first season.
Yeah.
I am not normally a massive fan of animation. It doesn't really sort of push my buttons, but I really did enjoy season 1. So I will give this another proper viewing when I get a chance. I've
Yeah.
been doing a tax return, Brian. I'm sure you can appreciate what that's like.
Too many of them to do. What we see a sort of time jump as well, which allows the story to progress some
Yeah,
from the events at Camino at the end of last season. So
that's it.
there's going to be some discovery of what happened in between those seasons as well. Des Smith there in the comments saying that episode 3 was brilliant. So I think it's kind of been universally praised across socials. I'm not a huge fan of animation. I don't watch the sort of animated Star Wars for my sins. I hear good things about the Bad Batch. People are enjoying it. They like the characters. They like where the plot's going. And for yourself, have you kind of got hopes of where the season goes? Having watched season 1.
I want to see some characters brought into it that weren't in season 1. Season 1 was great because what it did, it picked up on the story thread that was shown in those fantastic last episodes of Clone Wars. So there was, I think it was 3 or 4 episodes in there that were dedicated to the Bad Batch. And then we had the Bad Batch season 1 come out off the back of that. Yeah, I'd like to see some more crossover. It was good to see what they did with Camino in this first season, where we saw the destruction of it, basically. So in this one, I don't know, where are we time-wise with this? We are sort of, there's been a small time jump. We could even see, say, young Han Solo in there.
Yeah.
We could see all sorts of different people come into this. But yeah, I would just like to see some sort of connective tissue. I love the fact that these days a lot of the animated stuff and the film and TV programs, they all interconnect. I love that. It's not done strictly in the Marvel universe kind of way, but it does give it. What it does is it gives the animated stuff more oomph, because I think that could easily be dismissed as being kids' TV.
Little
It's
things,
far
just
from
like on Obi-Wan, I guess, having the clone soldier just there, and just it doesn't have to be something significant. Just that
exactly.
little nod
Yeah,
of the head, and it just raises the
yeah,
profile of the other show.
absolutely. It just connects the dots for the people that really want that there, but doesn't detract from the actual story. So that's what I like. I like the little throwaway things that come into it.
Yeah.
Stick a quacky monkey lizard in something. I'm happy. But yeah, let's see where it goes. I will give it a proper viewing and have a proper opinion on it next time, Brian. I promise you.
I won't make that promise. It's not for me. I think if you want to hear the latest about Bad Batch, tune into Fantha Tracks Radio and your podcast of choice. And the guys will be all over it, and there you're not going to hear about it much on GMT. I don't
My
think it's not my cup of tea.
my my
But I
my, my lack,
appreciate everybody else
yeah,
that's enjoying it.
yeah, my lack of viewing it has been down to that horrible droid HMRC1. So once I've destroyed that droid, I'll be all right.
It's normally Hector, the tax inspector, but we'll let you off. Uh, next up in the news front, Marvel Comics have announced a new series. They haven't given us a release date, but they've sort of paving the way for what's coming out later this year. They've announced Star Wars Darth Vader Black, White and Red. It's going to be a mini series, and it's going to run for 4 issues, and it's going to be in the style of the Black, White, and Blood series that they've already done for Wolverine, Moon Knight, and Deadpool, which has been incredibly popular. Jason Aaron returning to Star Wars after a few years away, and we've got a few of the cover reveals as well. There's a couple of them on show up on the screen there. The first one there by Alex Maleev as well, which I love his art, so I thought that's really beautiful. Your thoughts, because Marvel have done an awful lot of Darth Vader comics. Is it just one too many?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because this is the problem that I have with the word canon, is that once you've gone down a certain path with it, unless you want to sort of start straying into sort of like away from canon, then which is the legitimate path? Really do hem themselves in with that one. I love the concept of this. I mean, this is very sort of like Sin City kind of, that sort of everything black and white, just drop a bit of colour in. I love that on the was it Visions, the Star Wars cartoons that have got that sort of anime feel. That first episode, which was black and white, and all you got was the occasional green, blue, or red light, just to punctuate it. But no, this is collectible and very desirable in the comic collecting world. But does it say what sort of time zone of Vader it is? Is it sort of early Vader, late towards a New Hope Vader? What sort of time?
Didn't give the details, to be honest. It was kind of vague on where it's going to land. And it seemed kind of like an odd announcement, because it seemed like it wasn't perhaps ready to be announced, if that makes sense. When all the details aren't there, you kind of think, what's going on here? But interesting. There seems to be maybe a slight little bubble in Marvel world at the moment in terms of they're trying to change things up for this year and refresh the lines a little bit, or refresh them within their current ongoings. Had the Revelations comic at the tail end of last year, trying to reframe everything for the coming year. So there seems to be some activity there. So it'll be interesting to see what we get announced over the next few months. And it'll be interesting to see if Marvel turn up to Star Wars Celebration in April, with it being in the UK. Will they do a panel over this side of the pond? Because previous celebrations have perhaps not had as heavy a presence. That would be good to see them there. You started making me think about Marvel, the Marvel film universe, then, for some reason. But no, it would be good stuff there. Definitely. They need to get some of the old artists on board, and people would love to meet those if there's any left from the early days. I mean, I love the Star Wars Marvel comics from sort of pre-Return of the Jedi. Those storylines, which were beautifully interwoven into the first season of Mando, where you've got the crew that had been frozen in carbonite that were in one of the great storylines. But I certainly. Did you say it's a limited series, that Darth Vader? Yeah, it's going to be a 4-issue series.
That's the sort of thing that would appeal to me, where you know that you're not going to have to outlay money, sort of like for 700 episodes, 700 issues. So that's something I might get. I really like that C-3PO one shot they did that time about his red arm. So 4 issues of Vader. Why not?
Something else that may come up at Celebration, I was surprised if it didn't. Indiana Jones. It's Lucasfilm's big film of the year, coming out June 30th, and Hasbro have kicked off the year with a fan stream revealing all the products they've got in store for us. So we can check some of that out now. First up, Indiana Jones Monopoly, which I kind of like. It kind of looks nice, kind of looks fun. Something for the family to argue over. If you're not writing an autobiography on your family, you can play Indiana Jones Monopoly.
Nice, I like it. I bought my daughter a version of Monopoly for Christmas. It was the Love Actually version, so perhaps she'll reciprocate and get me the Indiana Jones one. So
There you go. That's a good idea. It's coming April 2023. We've also got Indiana Jones Whip Action Indie, as it's described. 12-inch action figure, again coming in the spring, $33.99, which is a pretty huge price, but I guess it's a large figure, I guess, for that price.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to see the live stream, or have you seen any clips from it?
I've watched it, yeah.
Yeah, so the actual whip action was quite good, I thought.
Yeah, it was kind of quite impressive, really.
Yeah. It actually did seem like he was using the whip properly, so I was quite impressed with that. Yeah.
Price point seems high, though.
How much was that one?
$33.99.
I suppose it's similar sort of price to what people are used to paying for Black Series these days.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Next up, Indiana Jones Action Kraken Whip. I would have changed the word action to a different word there, and I almost said it.
No, I was saying to you before we started the show, Brian, when the fourth film came out in about 2011, my son he would have been about 7 or 8 at the time, and he had a whip that looks exactly like that. It's probably just been repackaged, but yeah, that used to do the noises. It was brilliant fun.
Yeah. I'm going to say as well that because we're in the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, we will not get Princess Leia in her bikini from Return of the Jedi action figure this year, but we will get Indiana Jones whip. One's appropriate for your kids, one's not. There we go. That's modern merchandise for you.
Maybe we'll get some binders.
Yeah, quite possibly. Everything on the fan stream, which had no comments and no live chat, which has now become a Hasbro's way, I think, for the poor moderators. And it wasn't live; it was kind of like a recorded kind of presentation. Anyway, this was the kind of best products I kind of thought they had, was these sort of more fun kind of what they call it, worlds of adventure kind of action figures. So you had Indiana Jones with his motorcycle and sidecar first up. $23 on that one.
Yeah.
You also had Indiana Jones with his horse.
I think the legs moved, didn't they, a bit? I think they had it sort of, you could pretend it was walking kind of thing. Yeah. Well, that might have been a different product, but yeah, it looks quite cool.
Comes with a holy grail, just casually left on the floor there.
Yeah. How have you got that beyond the seal? I mean, what's going on?
I know, terrible. And from the new film as well, new character of Helena Shaw as well, with motorcycle.
Why not? They've all got motorcycles now, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm only surprised they've got a speeder bike.
I know they should have a speeder bike. And also from the new film, Jurgen Voller with his plane, with a machine gun on the top as well.
They're quite nice, actually, aren't they? I quite like these toys. They're cool.
Yeah, they're a little bit fun.
Yeah.
Cheesy but fun.
Bit cartoony. Yeah.
And Walter Donovan appears in
these
the
are like
Jones action series.
Yeah, these are like the equivalent of the Black Series in Star Wars, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I've got the original Indiana Jones on pre-order. I don't know whether I'll collect the line, but I did want Indy, so I've ordered him.
I once had dinner at a charity event with the actor that plays Walter Donovan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and just because I'm terrible, that well, got our meals, and I asked him if it was any good, and he said yes, it was lovely. And I said, "You've chosen wisely."
Yeah.
Oh dear, that's why I don't get invited back.
Brilliant, though. Well done.
That's going to be Walmart exclusive. We've also got Professor Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
Which I think is that his Professor outfit. It's more as Venice kind of outfit.
Yeah, yeah, it does look like his Venice outfit, doesn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
looks
going to
like when he's
be.
down in the sewers with the rats.
Yeah, it's going to be a Walmart exclusive again.
Yeah,
And you've got Club Obi-Wan as
Temple of
well.
Doom. Yeah, Temple of Doom, Club Obi-Wan. I like that one. That's quite cool.
Comes with a flaming shish kebab as well, not pictured.
There is a kebab with that. I thought that was hilarious when I saw the kebab that you got
Yeah.
with it.
No short round, which they must be
No,
kicking themselves at the moment. They should have a short round there. It's
big shout out to Kuhu Kwan. I saw his award-winning film yesterday.
yeah,
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. What
yeah,
a completely crazy film that is!
yeah.
Wow. But yeah, fair play to him for making a comeback.
That's going to be a Target exclusive, and
Yeah.
then into the kind of retro collection.
Again, I've ordered in.
Rennie Belloc in his sort of Jewish kind of ceremonial garb. And you've got Marion Ravenwood,
All right.
which I'm going to call her slave dress, Marion Ravenwood. Because that's what it
Yeah,
is.
it is. It
She
is.
was forced to wear it, much like Princess Leia in her gold bikini. We're going to keep this a running theme all year until we get Princess Leia gold bikini merch back on the shelves. So that's Marion Ravenwood slave dress.
Fantastic. But there were some others, weren't there? So yeah, our dear friend.
Yeah, he's there.
one of my favourites from Raiders. Dear old Bomber from Avida's Own Pet.
Yeah, German mechanic.
Pat Roach, what a man.
Yeah. And never ever got a character name through all the years of Indiana Jones other than German mechanic.
Yeah.
Everybody else got names. There's even a Major Gobbler, which kind of seems more hello than it does Indiana Jones.
So we've got a Major Gobbler, but can I clarify, we've still got no Slave Leia?
No slave Leia, but we've got a Major Gobbler. And we've got Marion Ravenwood slave dress. Marion Ravenwood.
And we've got a whip.
And we've got a whip for kids.
That's the soundbite. There you go.
It's going to be a running theme all year. On the 40th anniversary, every week I'm going to mention.
I do think, though, that what you were hinting at before, I think similar to how the last celebration that I was at, the one over in Anaheim, whereby the launch panel, a big panel of day one, was the Lucasfilm panel.
Yeah.
I think that will happen every time now. So
I think it needs to be a running kind of thing. I think they should have Willow in there. I think they should have Indy in there. I'm hoping there's going to be a second season of Willow. I loved Willow. I've not had a chance to speak about it on the show at all, really. I thought it was brilliant. I loved it. I look forward to it every week. It was weird. It was wacky. It was original. It was different. Not to everyone's taste. Humor wasn't to everyone's taste. I totally get that. But
well, I am a huge fan of Warwick Davis, and let's face it, everybody is a huge fan compared to Warwick. But his acting, from what I've seen in episodes, well, he wasn't really in episode 1 much, but in episode 2 and 3, it wasn't good. But
no, that would be fair. It's a constant theme.
Yeah. But I'm hoping that at the Lucasfilm panel that we get in Celebration, which is going to be just about a month before Indiana Jones is released, I'm hoping that it's been written into Harrison's contract that he's got to come over and promote that. Therefore, he's also here at the same time as the Jedi 40th anniversary. He'll probably do absolutely nothing to do with it. He did nothing to do with Star Wars in Anaheim, but he was there to promote.
All he needs to do is walk out, doesn't he? He doesn't need to say a word, does he?
Yeah, that's exactly what he did over in Anaheim. He walked out onto the stage. He was there primarily to congratulate John Williams on his 90th birthday. We had a bit of Indiana Jones music played by the by the orchestra, which was incredible, and conducted by John. But just to see Harrison there was just touching for people. People love that, don't they?
I know someone has got their birthday on April the 7th as well, so we could use them as a substitute if need be. Might not have the same appeal to Harrison, but if he just wants to keep the theme going.
I'll Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. But yeah, I think the Lucasfilm panel is here to stay. They're only going to do more things now with that. Be interesting to see what they do with Indiana Jones after this film, whether it does become some sort of TV series or animated series, whatever they decide to do with it. Yeah.
And just drifting back to Willow again and the possibility of season 2. It should be a cheap series to make for them, and the scale of things, and it should be nice, good quality content. It fits quite well into the whole Disney theme rather than like a family kind of product.
We've had sort of 3 similar products. I remember us talking about this before they were released. We've had the spin-off to Lord of the Rings. We've had Willow, and we had the Game of Thrones spin-off. And none of them really seem to have hit home, do they? They've all...
House of the Dragon won Golden Globe, and the whole time Game of Thrones never won it.
But it doesn't seem to have got that same sort of... I don't know. People don't seem to be.
It's probably not captured the imagination. It's not the discussion point, is it?
No.
It's a strange one with Willow. I noticed that there's actually been more advertising for Willow since the series ended than during the series. And they're promoting all episodes streaming now. Kind of adverts are kind of everywhere at the moment.
To be honest, that's probably the best way to watch it. And with Bad Batch, it might be that I wait until it's all there and then I'll watch it all. I don't know, but certainly with Willow, I think I'll give it another chance now that it's all there. Start from scratch, watch it all. I like some of the.
Take it that it's cheesy Saturday afternoon family.
Yeah,
I appreciate it much more.
Yeah, I think the thing is that at the heart of the original film, Val Kilmer was at the heart of that, and I think his presence is greatly missed in this series. But for obvious reasons, if you manage to
get to the last few episodes, you might be happier.
Right. Okay. Spoiler alert. Yeah, I'll give it a go. I will give it a go.
Yeah, definitely give it a go. Yeah. Up next, what we're talking about. Fantha Tracks going to be podcasting live on the EVA Star Wars celebration Thursday 6th of April across at the Breakfast Club at Canary Wharf as part of Boonta Eve 4. Worthwhile making the trip over to Canary Wharf. It's just a short distance from the Excel Centre, just because you can do lots of sightseeing for Star Wars shooting locations as well over there. From Rogue One and Andor, which whilst you're on the way to the Breakfast Club.
What's there from Andor? I know the train station's there from.
So
from
you've
Rogue
got outside the ISB where Deidre first falls in love with Cyril.
That's where Mark and Matt from Fantha Tracks went and took some photos, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
If you can't wait to April to see Fantha Tracks podcasting live, obviously we're on every week, but you can also find us as part of Star Wars Podcast Day 2023, coming up on February 7th. Start Your Engines is going to be part of that this year. That's your show, Paul.
We will be. We will definitely be doing something for that.
You don't know
Mark
what yet?
Don't know what yet. No, Mark's not been very well, so we've been meaning to get together to record, but hopefully he's on the mend, and I'll pop over to Echo Base, his house, and we'll do some recording.
He wasn't on the mend yesterday. He still didn't have a voice, which is like the best way for Mark to be. Isn't it?
But it's refreshing, isn't it?
Yes.
He's more like that big yellow droid out of Obi-Wan Kenobi now. No voice, just a muscle.
Just a muscle. Ah, dear. But we should appreciate the time where we don't have to listen to Mark. Whilst we've got it, we'll see if he watches this show.
But yeah, no, we'll definitely be contributing towards that, and I'm really looking forward to that. Just prior to celebration happening, so I take it that you'll be involved in that as well, Brian. We'll all be there for that, won't we?
I'll be there. I've got a ticket. Not saying I'm going to be podcasting.
If Mark's voice isn't back, I might have to drag you on there to help me out.
Yeah. I'll definitely be there, enjoying the refreshments.
Excellent.
Yeah, it should be a good day. And,
Yeah, it'll be good.
And also, it's going to be Blab of the Hat's going to be podcasting as well, as part of the event as well. So you've got the opportunity to see them as well. If you don't know them, it's one of Ireland's sort of big podcast groups as well. So chance to check them out as well.
Have some fun.
Let's check out some products.
Yeah.
First up, Diamond Select Toys, Obi-Wan Kenobi PVC diorama. Now with available at Shop Disney, $50, and it's a limited series. Looks okay. I don't think it's the greatest sculpt ever, but
no, looks a bit limited in its posability, doesn't it?
Yeah. Not my cup of tea. Something much more my cup of tea. Gentle Giants, Cassian Andor mini bust.
That's cool.
Retailing now $120 all around the world. It's going to arrive this coming October, 2,000 pieces worldwide. So you'll be able to get it before we see season 2 of Andor, because I don't think we're going to see Andor season 2 this year. I think that's going to slip into 2024 by the looks of it. But I'm really enjoying what Gentle Giant are doing just now, and this is another one of theirs. Looks fantastic.
It does look really cool, that does. Yeah, I like that.
And last up, news of the week. Echo Base Live is just 3 weeks away, one of the big conventions in the UK for people that are fans of Star Wars vintage collecting and autographs, the whole shooting game. It happens at the Kingfisher Shopping Centre in Redditch, and started to get some guest announcements. So far, 4 guest announcements, all from Rogue One. Guy Hendry, who was Tarkin, Paul Casey, Admiral Radis, Rufus Wright, Spencer Wilding as well, who body doubled the Darth Vader as well.
They've also announced a 5th guest today, Ken Colley.
Okay,
yeah. But for the most part, like you say, it's Rogue One centric, so which is great.
Always a good show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was hoping to go along. I'm still hoping I can just nip in there, even if it's only for an hour. I've got a job that I've got to do that day, so that's a bit gutting. But if you haven't been to Echo and you often thought, shall I go? Even if you live really far away, it is worth going.
You're dropping it up here.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Echo. I actually want to go. I was speaking to Carol Bayliss, who's our host on the Desert Planet Discs on Fantha Tracks Radio, about it, and really want to go this year. And it's all going to boil down to how much of the tax returns I get done by the deadline, which is the 31st of January. If there's an overrun.
Hey, look, you're worried about way more tax returns than ever I was. I've only got mine to do.
It's automatic fines this year if you're late. That's joy for me. How do you bill someone for doing their tax return if you file it late? But yeah, so hopefully I'll be finished because it's the following weekend.
I was going to say, everybody should have theirs done by the end of January, shouldn't they?
They should do. They should have had them done months ago, because you had 9 months to file them. You had 9 months and you've waited until the last month. That's accountant. Your accountant hates you if you've put them in this position. You haven't done your tax return yet. Your accountant hates you. That's official.
Well, just in case my accountants are watching. Hi, Ira. Hope everything's well.
Ah, dear. When I worked for a bigger company than just myself, we used to be about 60 yards away from the tax office. And you had to 5 o'clock back then. This is not pre-internet days, but early days of the internet, before you had to electronically file. You had to 5 o'clock on the dot to get your tax return physically in to the building. And so it was my job to take like a huge box file of tax returns and run down the road with them and get into the building before 5 o'clock. And of course, you're crossing like the major road in Inverness, so you're dodging the traffic to try and get across the road. Because as long as you're in the building, they've got to stamp every tax return as received.
Right.
So you then had to sit and wait for them to go through manually and stamp every tax return, check
Oh
that
my
they
God.
stamped every single one, then go
Oh,
back with the
man.
receipts that they'd been filed. That was the joyous days before internet filing.
That sounds like a nightmare. For those of you who've joined us late, this is not the Phantom Menace. We're not talking about the taxation of trade routes.
But yeah, that is the news for this week from Star Wars. Quiet start of the week, but we're expecting a very active and exciting year ahead. Star Wars celebrations coming 82 days, I want to say. Yeah, 82 days. So it's going to be fast approaching. We expect to get announcements for that soon. We've also got Mandalorian Season 3 just about to launch. We'll have Ahsoka late in the year, Skeleton Crew, which I think is going to surprise a lot of people and like really pull people in unexpectedly. I think it could be this year's Andor and be the surprise pick of the year, perhaps.
Well, those three shows, surely they're going to be the main focus of celebration, aren't they?
I would have thought so.
Mando 3, Ahsoka, and Skeleton Crew.
Interestingly, it's the irony of it is that all three of them are being made in America. So they're coming to London effectively, where Star Wars is primarily being produced over the Disney era. And all three shows they've got coming out this year won't be UK shows. They have to have some content from Andor. They're going to have Andor's going to be filming at the time that Celebration's going on, so you would like to think that those guys are going to pop up too, because how could you not do a panel on Andor? I think it's kind of captured everybody's hearts.
Well, I'm also hoping that we get a similar thing that they did over in Anaheim, where we had the Mando and Boba Fett exhibit, which was incredible.
Which is all the what they could do from Andor Season 1 is the perfect.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and even give us like a hint at what's coming up in Season 2. Who knows? But yeah, that would be great to see. So I'm guessing that's what they'll do. I can't imagine them shipping all the Mando stuff over because, well, purely from an insurance point of view, it'd be ludicrous. But also the setup would take forever. But yeah, do the Andor stuff. That for me, that Mandalorian exhibit, that was the highlight of the show, and I think most people that went to it said the same. Because it was so contemporary, it wasn't like you were looking at something that was filmed in '76. This was something that had been filmed last year, and you still got that emotional connection to it. You know, it still felt very new. It was brilliant to see. Really, really cool.
You've also got Bob Iger back at the top at Disney. A lot of pressure on the Disney board to start delivering improved earnings results, which could put some pressure on Lucasfilm to actually get making movies again.
Oh, please, let's have some films. Yeah, let's have a reason to get out there and go to the cinema.
One thing we can guarantee, there's going to be more writers and directors fired this year.
Great. Yeah. Please, no more Ryan. No more Ryan.
Have you seen Glass Onion?
No, I refuse to watch it.
There you go.
Yeah, Mandy's sort of tried to put it on TV a few times. I said, well, if you're going to watch it, I'm going out the room. She says, you're being stupid about this. I says, I've got principles. And that's it. I'm not adding another dime to that guy's wallet. No way.
If you could have one thing happen in the Star Wars galaxy this year, what would it be?
An announcement of a film.
Yeah.
That would really do it for me. Yeah. No, that would be it. That would definitely be it. Yeah. Cool. I would. To be honest, I would love to see either a sequel to Solo or a TV spin-off of Solo or something that Solo walks into. I keep seeing so much stuff about. I think Kathleen Kennedy's got the wrong end of the stick and thinks that the problem with Solo's recouping of money at the box office was down to Alden Ehrenreich, which it wasn't. It came off the back of The Last Jedi. It was nothing to do with casting, nothing to do with the film itself. It was that people sort of rebelled a bit against Star Wars at that point in time.
Yeah.
Solo's a great film. I would love to see a sequel or a TV series.
Landed at the wrong time.
It did.
And was very poorly marketed and backed, to be honest.
It was.
And
Incredibly
I think a lot of that had to do with the way that the film came together in the end. And I think if you were sitting on the Disney board and you were thinking, how much marketing money are we going to throw behind this? You're thinking this whole production's been unmitigated disaster from start to finish. In many regards, let's cut our losses. And you're seeing that a lot more with Batgirl, finished production, and it's like, we're not going to put more money marketing this and releasing it. We'd rather take the losses, get the tax credits. We're back to tax. You know, I think we're seeing it with TV shows now as well, where they've got episodes and series in the can and they're just not releasing them because it's not worth the extra cost. And you're going to see tough decisions like that. So in many regards, we're lucky Solo actually made it out of the bag and onto the screen. If it had been in the current climate, maybe not. Maybe would have been shelved indefinitely. When the Lego guys walked away, that might have been shut down and finished.
Did they walk? Who knows?
Well.
Did you like Solo? Were you a fan of it?
I think Solo's just behind Rogue One and the best content in the Disney era.
Absolutely.
That's come out.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget as well, folks. I think you mentioned it earlier, Bride, but there's a Mando trailer airing for the first time tomorrow.
Yep, during the American football.
Yeah.
Can't give you a time because American football's like that. It just could be any time between 1 in the morning and 3 in the morning.
And I don't think we get to see the content over here anyway, do we?
No, I imagine it'll go up in YouTube shortly after, and certainly someone will have it on their phone. Best content, best Star Wars Mando content that's been seen in the last few years has been on people's phones.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Paul, appreciate you joining me for the kickoff show for this year. We'll be back each and every week covering the Star Wars news and whatever that'll be. And we'll be back next weekend. We'll see you then.
Bye, folks. Cheers, Brian.
Keep up to date with the latest Star Wars news each and every day on FanthaTracks.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, and Pinterest at Fantha Tracks. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow Fantha Tracks TV to be alerted to new content and to be a part of our live shows.